Hey guys, it's Isaiah from Rennline. Today we're installing E235, the sport design mirrors for this 991.2. First step here, we're gonna actually push in this mirror so we can get our fingers behind it, and then we're gonna try to pry it off of the motor. Now we'll have the heated mirror wires, so we just can disconnect these spade terminals, come off pretty easily. And we'll take this 2-pin connector out here. So now we have the mirror. Set that off to the side. For now, this step we'll use a T10. We'll take off this motor here. It's just a 1 screw in the center. All right, with that, we can now pull this away. And for this one, you might need some pliers to get this out because there's the pin that's down low. Now with the motor disconnected, we've been taking out some more screws here. There are, I think, a total of 6 screws. Just go around as you find them. You know there's 2 different types of screws. One screws into plastic, it's got a coarser thread, and the ones that screw into metal have a finer machine screw. All right, with those 4 screws out, we can now pop off this front piece here, which will have a bunch of clips, just with a little pressure from the top. So now that opens up a few more screws that are also a T10. And finish taking those out. You get the metal mount for the motor to come out. So now should be able to start popping off some of these clips. There are 2 harder ones to get. And I recommend using something like a pick or a small screwdriver to get behind, come around from the other side, and kind of just pull forward. One of those. There's another one back as well. So now we can actually pull off the second piece. Right, next up, we actually have to remove the door card. To take off the door panel, you just need to remove 3 different panels. You can use a pry tool if you need to. Otherwise, you might be able to get them with your fingers. The other one is this airbag panel. The other one is behind the lever. Oh yeah, so there's only 4 screws to take off this door card. So there's gonna be 2 behind the airbag shroud here. The 1 behind the door handle, and then 1 at the end of the door. And that requires just a T30. All right, before we take off the door card, it's probably a good idea to just get this connector out of the way now. Just press down on the blue tabs and then lift up on the purple lever. Should be able to come off. And then for the actual door card, all you have to do is you can take it by the handle and pull up. And now you have it off. Before you actually remove the door card, you have to remove the cable. To do that, lift up on the back tabs, pull away from you, and then you can remove this. Now we can set aside the door card. To get to the bolt where the mirror arm is connected is behind this grommet here. You can just pull it back. And you'll use a T40 to get to that. Try not to lose the bolt behind or inside this door. Might be wise to use some pliers to get this bolt out. Like a little bit of operation if you ever played that as a kid. Now we can actually remove the door arm here. All right, for this next step, we're gonna remove a couple screws, but before that, we're gonna move this little rubber seal here out of the way. There's just a little lever here that you can pull back and it'll pop around. We can rotate that, kind of just put it back into place to get out of the way. So there's a couple screws here that we'll have to remove, specifically these two towards the top. We'll return back to the T10 for that. All right, and now there's one more on the back side. It's a little hard to access, but if you turn it up right, take your T10, you should be able to access it. All right, so now there's two more screws right underneath where we just took those screws out of. Now we can actually remove this bottom piece from the main assembly. There'll be that bottom arm in here as well. So all we gotta do to get that out is just take a little screwdriver or something. Press forward on this tab as you do that. And now you should be able to take your fingers and just pop it out. Now for the carbon fiber. So we'll actually take the arm that we just took out, we'll put it back in, make sure that this lines up with that hole. And we take this, run the cables through the hole, put it back over this arm, pull it right back out of the car. Once again, remove that rubber boot. And then start to reassemble with the same screws we just took out. Yeah. All right, next step, we can start to replace kind of the other shrouds that we took off. We'll just run some cables around. This next step, we're gonna take the motor mount, put it back in. And we'll take two of the machine screws. We'll put them into the top hole here. Start that a little bit. All right, now with the motor plugged in, we can take all the cables, feed it through the front piece, and just let it dangle while we align everything here. And now we can start screwing things in. The coarse screw goes on the left-hand side, while the machine screws go on the bottom and the right side. Now with the front piece installed, we can take the screw for the motor, orient the cable facing towards the bottom corner, right corner. Kind of tuck some things away here. Now with the motor reinstalled, we can take the spade terminals and connect up the heated mirror back up. And we can re-plug in this connector here. Now we can put the mirror back on. That completes this install for the carbon fiber sport design mirror for this 991. If you like more carbon fiber parts, visit Rennline.com.